everyone, it's time for our weekly Thursday live. We're trying out a bit of a new format. Instead of sitting on here for like 30 minutes to an hour, we're going to try to keep our lives a little more brief and then kind of save all that content for workshops and maybe webinars. So that's all in the works, but today we're doing another split live so we can be at home because we're hanging out. Me and CJ have like a ton of things every day of the week pretty much this week together, so just in case she needed a break from hanging out with me. So today we're going to cover just one question, and the question is, someone said, I just got an email from a brand about a collab, but they were only offering a discount code. Should I accept it? So before I rant and get kind of all rambly, I should probably preface like who my answer is going to be for. If you are a blogger that is doing it just for a hobby or like just for free things or just because you like it, then this is probably not directed at you. I'm talking more to the people that are trying to make it a business, that consider themselves a content creator, an influencer, someone that's trying to actually turn it into a side gig or maybe even a full-time job. So just to put that out there first. The second thing is that I kind of have strong feelings about this. Having a little bit of a background in marketing, I kind of have a very specific opinion about when you should use coupon codes. And as a blogger, I just think it's kind of ridiculous for a brand to offer a discount code and ask you to do a collab with them. Here's a little bit about why. The first reason is, as a blogger, like, why would I want to pay my own money to then have to promote someone else's brand? I think even if you absolutely love the product, like I hear a lot of times people are like, oh, but it's the product I'm going to use anyway, and I love it, and I buy it anyway. I think even if you love the product, you should ask at the very least for a free one. Like, ask the brand to give it to you for free, because honestly, having been a brand, I like ran a small boutique for a while, and even as a small business, it was nothing for me to like gift product. That was easy. Paying people was a little bit harder as a small business. But it's really nothing for brands to gift products. So I think at the very minimum, you should be asking for a free product. And if you still are in doubt, I just want you to think of it this way. Like, look at the work that you're putting in. You are an editor, you are a publisher, you are a photographer, an advertiser, a social media manager, a writer, and like so much more. That doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of all the different hats bloggers wear a lot of times. So if a brand has to pay like to hire those people regularly, then at the very least you should be receiving free product, and they probably should be paying you. Because if you think about it, like, it's a good deal. Normally they have to like hire each one of those professions individually, but they're kind of getting it all in one. They're getting a package deal, and they're getting a lot of services all bundled together for a lot cheaper than it would be for them to hire a professional. So that's kind of a little argument for why you would, at least push for a free product, but even kind of go beyond that and ask to be actually compensated. So that's kind of my rant and my strong feelings. So now let's move to like a more productive, positive aspect to this. And it's kind of my best tip, which is to reply to the brand in their email and help educate them. A lot of times, I know it's easy as bloggers, and I do it all the time. Like, I get an email that comes through and it's like, we'd like to offer you a 50% discount, and I like don't even reply. It's like, it sounds so ridiculous to me because it's so against my blog policy, or like I'm already drowning in saying no to free things, that like taking the time to reply to someone offering a discount code, it's like, why would I even do that? But I think it's worth it, because the first reason is they might be new to influencer marketing and they might have just no idea how to go about it. So I think brands like hear influencer marketing as like a buzzword and they want in. They hear it works. I think the statistic is like it's 11 times better return on investment than like traditional digital media marketing. So if you're a brand, even if you haven't done it before, you're thinking like, I can spend the same amount of money and get an 11 times better result. Like, I want in on this. And so they just maybe don't know like how it works. So they're just kind of reaching out, they're trying things. Maybe they reached out to like a few smaller bloggers who said yes to the discount code. And so those are the only collabs they've ever done, is like 3 bloggers that accepted it. So they're just kind of like going off what they know and it's worked before. So I think taking the time to like educate the brand is really important because our industry is so new. It really benefits us all as a whole to just take a second and reply to the email and let them know like the majority of collaborations that happen in our industry are at the very minimum a free product, and then there's even more that are paid. So like a discount code isn't going to get it done. Let them know kind of the value that you provide as a blogger and why they're going to have to pay to work with you in a kind way and in a way that like educates them. I think it's funny to me that people like reply to emails and say like, no, I don't accept discount codes, or like, I don't accept gifted products. Like, if you're taking the time to respond at all, why would you take the time to just be like, no? If you're going to take the time to craft a response, like have it be productive and try to carry on the conversation in a way that informs them and can help them in maybe they still won't work with you, but maybe you kind of started the conversation, you got them thinking, and then later they're going to be a better brand, they're going to be doing better collaboration. So really just benefits us all because the industry is so new. We have to educate brands on why the services we provide, why we're worth getting paid, essentially. So just kind of a more positive element to that. And then I think there's maybe like 2 scenarios that I can think of when it would be okay to accept a discount code. And I'm going to give you some numbers examples because that's the kind of crap I do. I think the first one is if the value of the item is super, super high. So kind of an example, say you're a blogger and you have 5,000 followers. That means your average like rate per Instagram post, according to market rates, would be like $50 to $75-ish. It can obviously go up or down from there, depending on the collab, depending on like a ton of other things. But let's just say that's your average. And maybe a brand wants to gift you a product worth $800 or give you a discount on a product worth $800. That sort of makes sense because if you think like, say they're giving you a 50% off code, that means you're getting $400 off, you're going to pay them $400, and the value that you're getting, that $400 off, is still 8 times your rate. So like, while it's not cold hard cash, while it's just like value you don't have to pay, like it's still a lot bigger than your rate. And so like the same could be said for like buying a car or a mattress. Like those are things where like discounts make sense. And if you're a small blogger and the product is like a huge value, that kind of makes sense. And then I think the second situation is maybe like if the brand and the blogger are both like absolutely happy. Like there's some brands that only offer discounts. Granted, like a lot of them are foreign brands, a lot of them are really, really small brands, probably brands you haven't heard of or maybe have just barely heard of. And then some bloggers are like totally fine accepting the discounts. I think if you're small and maybe getting gifted products is kind of a struggle for you, like maybe it's okay. Like who am I to say you shouldn't do it if both the brand and both the blogger are happy? It's just that for my personal blog, my policy is absolutely not, and I barely accept free products unless it's a really, really good fit or like a local brand or a charity that I really want to support. So that's the 2 situations where I think it makes sense. And then I'll wrap it up with one more little point and pass it off to CJ. But just from a marketing perspective, I kind of want to talk about like what coupon codes are for. And to me, a coupon code is a reward for a loyal customer. From a brand's perspective, you're rewarding a customer that is constantly buying from you, is like just amazingly in love with your brand. She's telling all of her friends. But the difference is that she's not a content creator. She's not someone that is providing like advertising services in the form of posting on social. And she's not giving you exposure to her audience in the way an influencer would. Like she's telling a few friends, but in the way an influencer would, it's like we have way more followers. Hopefully we have engaged people that really, really follow our recommendations. If you have a engaged audience, at least you should have this. So I think that's the difference, is that it's a loyal customer that's just someone that loves it versus an influencer that's actually going to be creating content around the product. So yeah, I think that's all my tips for discount codes. Tried to be balanced and not rant too much about them, but I don't accept them. I think it's ridiculous, but now you kind of understand why. And there is another side to that coin where people they have relationships that work and collaborations that work using them. So I wouldn't shut the door on them entirely. I would just make sure it really makes sense. Like if someone wanted to give me a brand new car and it was going to be half off, maybe I would take it. So there's always an exception to every rule. So just make sure to be thinking through it and make sure it makes sense for you. So yeah, I'll wrap it up and I'll pass it off to CJ.
Hi everyone. I am going live from my not so cute as Kara's office yet. I'm currently working on revamping my office to make it cute, but I wanted to at least give you guys a little Christmas tree. So hi Kara, I do really miss you today, FYI. So I actually just wanted to jump on really quick. Kara hit a lot of the points that I wanted to. I'm glad she went first because being the Italian ranter that I am, I would have definitely given my 2 cents on the discount codes, which I agree with Kara. They do not work with my brand whatsoever. And I just do think it's pretty ridiculous a lot of times when brands are trying to do that. I definitely had Kara and I talked about this obviously earlier this week, and I was one of those people that used to erase a lot of those emails until I took the time. I'm going to be honest, not every single one that comes through my email inbox will get a response, but I usually take the time to respond to them, let them know why I'm not accepting of it, and just kind of educate them. And I think to Kara's point, that's really important because influencer marketing is completely brand new. So people don't know what to do. And I have to remind myself that just like I'm a brand in a business, that other people that are reaching out to me are brands and businesses as well that are trying to kind of learn the game as they go. It's not always cut and dry, and you have to try things out before you know if it works or not. One of the things I thought of while Kara was speaking was her second scenario of the 2. One time I can think of that actually being a thing that would work is I had gone to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. If you follow me, I did like a travel blog post on that a few months ago, and I walked in. I took the time to kind of walk into a lot of the boutiques. I wanted to get to know some of the boutiques in the area. I have a girlfriend that actually, or a girlfriend of a girlfriend that owns her own boutique, so wanted to take the time to do that. And almost every boutique I walked into, I think I walked into 5 of them, the only thing they were offering were discount codes, and that was their like influencer marketing program, I want to say is the wording they used for it. And so to that point, a scenario where it could work for people, if you're a local blogger, especially if you're like in a small town like Sioux Falls, or live in the state of South Dakota, and that could be a huge benefit for you going into those small towns, going into those small boutiques. And if they have an influencer program and it's something that you feel comfortable doing, that could be a great way for you to, break the ice with the boutique, really form a relationship. And then, if it works for you, it works for you. And then potentially if they grow and they can start offering you compensation on small quarterly blog posts or anything like that, it could be definitely something that works. So I'm happy that she said that about one of the scenarios, because I thought immediately back to South Dakota and how if I lived in South Dakota, I was a smaller blogger and, discount codes was something I was looking into, I would jump onto those programs right away, because then I would have a relationship with all the boutiques. I'd be, receiving clothing, being able to do shoots, have a lot of content to work with. So there can be benefits from that. But again, don't get me wrong, this is not acceptable for my blog, and I am not 100% okay with the discounting. I think Kara's biggest thing that sticks to me, and is what we spoke about as well, is discount codes are great if you're a loyal customer. I managed a boutique for a while here in Denver. It's a big boutique, really popular, lots of girls coming in. We did have obviously, the loyal customers that came in weekly or monthly, and I would know what they were going to buy. I would know what brands they wanted, those types of things. I think that's a huge portion of who you give a discount to, because they're the ones already coming and spending $300 or $100 or $500, whatever it is, constantly and all the time. So that's really important. But me, myself, and I as an influencer, it's just not going to fly for me. Usually you get free products from a lot of different random brands. And to Kara's point, who owned a boutique, she was able to kind of, easily give out product to people. That wasn't a big deal. It was more of like the paying that's always an issue. So I think I'm just, as a customer, great. As an influencer, not so great. I'm going to spend hours on end creating the content, writing the blog posts, writing the captions for my Instagram ones, engaging with the followers that are engaging on the products, consistently having to sell the product when people are asking questions on it. Just constant marketing for that brand. So one post could be hours, if not days in some sense, because you're going to be continually engaging about that product with your followers, because you want your followers asking about your product. So that's a good portion of it. But if you're just getting discounts on it and you're still paying for it, you're putting in a lot of work for a $25 shirt still. So let's be honest, we all just passed through Cyber Monday and Black Friday, and boutiques have sales constantly. So it's just hard for me really to latch on to a discount code and actually feel comfortable and willing and motivated to want to do the work in showing that off to all of my followers. So I think Kara made a ton of really good points. To be real, I don't have a ton to offer off of that, because I was going to be ranting and would have said all of the things that Kara said. The fact that I'm an influencer, you're a marketing manager, you're the creations, you're the PR, you're the email marketing, you're everything that goes into your blog. And you need to be compensated in the right ways, and you need to feel motivated and inspired to do the work. And I think that's why we've spoke about this a ton before, and a lot of the other issues with either the gifting products or anything along the lines of that. And I thought, you're fine for stealing my thunder, Kara. You always take all the good notes anyway. But no, I just think, you really need to put the thoughts into exactly what you're going to do, and why you want to work with that discount code or why you don't want to work with the discount code. I just put way too much work into my blog, and I'm, moving into being a full-time blogger. So I just don't, for me, it doesn't work. And I think what Kara had said too, and I just read a blog post on this from, I can't remember the blogger, she's a huge blogger, I want to say it was The Pinch of Lovely, sorry if I got that wrong, but she did a huge blog post on exactly, the different titles that kind of go into a blogger, because you constantly get questions about what you do. So when Kara outlined that, look that up and really take that to heart. When I saw that in writing, it was actually a huge eye-opener. I mean, there's teams out there of people that, there's 15 people that are putting the shot together, or there's 3 models working together, or there's an entire team that's taking the photos, or an entire team that's writing the ad spot, or an entire team that's marketing that out to other brands, or whatever it is. And if you think of that, you're one sole person. So 25% off on a scarf or a shirt, is that worth your 16 job titles that you're putting into that one blog post or that one Instagram caption? I know that sounds a little aggressive, but it's really the honest truth. So, all in all, I think Kara put a good positive spin on it. I definitely think the thing you can take from this is if it works for your blog, every blog is completely different. That's what we are all about with My Haute Society, whether you're doing it for a full-time business, whether you're doing it for fun, hobby, whatever it is. So really, if it works for you, get it, girl. Take on those gifted or take on those discounts. That's huge. But if it doesn't work for you, don't feel bad, and don't just pass it off and delete it and then go have wine with your girlfriend and rant about it, because that's not solving any issues, and that's not going to help influencer marketing evolve into what we all are hoping and wanting it to be. So taking that 5 minutes out, and it would take you all of 5 minutes to be like, no, this is why I know, and this is why I'm doing this, and this is why I think it should be that way. So giving your whys, just like we think you should have your why with your own blog, giving the whys to other people and knowing your worth and why you're worth that is going to stand out to a lot of companies, and hopefully will continue to shape the influencer marketing and the blogging world that we're all super excited to be a part of. So that's my little mini rant. Like I said, I'm really happy Kara took that away first, because I probably would have gone a little bit negative, and I'm not about that. So this is my really bland office right now. I swear I'll make it prettier for you guys. We are working on kind of a new program. I don't even, that's kind of sounds like an intense word, but kind of like a program that we want to be able to work with you guys and engage with you guys as much as we can. We're going to keep the lives coming every single week, but to Kara's point, we want to make it most efficient for you guys. So we're going to think of kind of setting up more of a 1 hour webinar or 1 hour workshops or whatever that you guys can prep to log on to, because we understand a lot of you guys were watching our lives after they happen and they were posted on our blog, which I'm so happy we ended up doing that to give that information to you guys. But we would rather be able to have it live, and so you guys can interact as we're talking, so we can answer questions as we're going, instead of you guys, having to get onto the blog and look at it and then all of a sudden be super confused or have a million other questions one off. And then a lot of people I know never want to DM or email people because they're super nervous. So we want just people to be really comfortable, and all of our blogger babes and girl bosses to make the most out of their blog and get the most out of My Haute Society when you're trying to grow. So never skip brunch. We need to get you some stripes. I honestly think these walls should be purple. Let's be honest. You have the stripes, I'll have the purple. But I'm going to sign off, you guys. This will be mashed together. Kara, with her little IT-ness, will put the two videos together, and you guys can find this on myhautesociety.com/replay. And you guys then will be able to look at a bunch of the replays we've done, but that's just kind of our 2 cents on discount codes and why we are not the biggest fans. So have a great Thursday night. Enjoy some wine, guys. Bye.